We are live.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tim Morales. Today, we're going to do a seminar on Crooked Cactus CBD. I'm going to be introducing you to the CEO, Taya Thompson. But before we start, I want to go through a couple of legal things. First of all, we are not here to act as attorneys, accountants, or any other giving advice on how to set up a business. Second of all, we want to make sure that you're here for the right place. If you're in the medical, health, wellness service provider and want to offer this transformative ingredient to help your clients and increase your revenue, you're in the right place. If you're an online marketer considering e-commerce business and seeking to market the most talked about products in the wellness industry right now, you're in the right place. Mm-hmm. If you have a retail location and are looking to diversify some shelf space and drive foot traffic to your store with the most talked about and sought out wellness products, you're in the right place. And finally, if you want to start a business or a side hustle and have a network, friends and family and professional and personal connections that are sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're in the right place. This webinar is not about multi-level marketing opportunity or a direct sales market. We are not offering a get-rich-quick scheme. Not about hopping on the bandwagon to scam or spam to make money. We are not here to construct legal or accounting advice. We are neither attorneys nor CPAs, and any information presented is not intended to replace the advice of a professional counsel. We are not guaranteeing success, or are we making any income claims. The tactics and strategies shared produce varying results based on how and what extent you employ them. And this is for educational purposes only. The information presented is the most recent available on the broadcast, and we advise you to research current laws and regulations of the industry as it's quickly evolving. In the next hour, you're going to learn how we can participate in the $20 billion CBD industry and how we think the number one way to differentiate. The basic elements of running a compliant business and what legalities you should be aware of. Why the big box retailers are entering the market is a good thing, and how you can leverage the current momentum. What you should know about when you're looking to buy CBD and the CBD products to market. And finally,
stay until the end. Stay until the end.
Stay until the end so that we can show you how to access some of the best-selling product bundles at wholesale prices and how to get help in launching your CBD business. So ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let me introduce you to Taya Thompson.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know that was a lot of information. We have only asked an hour of your time. So before I get really into my story and into the content, just know that everyone registered. You should have already got the copy of our ebook called The 10 C's of CBD. We are also going to automatically send this replay out to you. So if we go quickly, because we have a lot to cover in a short amount of time, you're going to get the replay. If you can't take notes, that's okay. You're going to get all of the slides and the replay after the broadcast. We also have some cheat sheets that we'll be sending to you as well with some additional resources. That is going to come to you after the website. And as Tim said, you want to make sure that you stay all the way to the end because we do have a special offer for you, right? I'm not going to be up here saying we're not here to sell you anything. Absolutely are, but it is an amazing opportunity. Obviously, you're here because you're shopping around anyway, and we're here to show you how to get started and why it should be with Crooked Cactus CBD, and also how you can get the help so that you can run a compliant business and have the very best products that are out there available. So with that, I'm Taya Thompson. I am the founder and CEO of Crooked Cactus CBD. I also am the co-founder of a movement and education platform called CBD Chicks. I'm also the co-founder and administrator of a support group called Moms Offering Mom Support, which is for families, specifically mothers of children with special needs. And my background is 19 years as a certified financial planner and registered life planner. So when I was in that life, my son was born. His name is Kian. He's see him there in the picture. When he was born, we were unexpectedly confronted with the issue of him being born with Down syndrome. And we dealt with that, and he was an amazing boy, and a lot of our fears dissipated with that diagnosis. But at age 3, everything changed. He quickly regressed, and between ages 3 and 6, he just really transformed into a shell of the boy that we had grown to know and love so dearly. All of the medical doctors were saying that this is just Down syndrome, deal with it. I'm very ingrained in the Down syndrome community. I knew absolutely with mother's intuition that that was not the case. We finally were able to get him the right team of doctors, and he was given the additional diagnosis at age 6 of being on the autistic, being on the autism spectrum, ADHD, sensory processing disorder, as well as something called partial seizure disorder. And with all of those going on and us looking for a way to manage all of that and get our son back, the doctors, of course, led with a whole host of pharmaceutical cocktails. We paused and wanted to find a more natural approach for Kian. I don't know if any of you are parents out there, but we just want the very best for our children. We want them to be safe, and we want them, to be happy and to reach their best potential. And we didn't feel that that would happen if we were, using pharmaceutical intervention at that level. So we went out searching for something more natural, and thank God we found CBD. That was a little over 4 years ago now. Within a few weeks of him being on the CBD oil, we just immediately saw him transforming. It helped with behavior issues, and specifically really helped us manage the epilepsy without the use of the medication that the doctors had recommended. I should also say this is my personal experience. I'm not making any medical claims here. I'm sharing my journey as a mom and as an entrepreneur, because this changed our life. And because we were unhappy with the oils and the products that were there at that time, we didn't feel comfortable once we learned more about what's in the oil and how it's grown. We didn't feel comfortable with what was on the out on the market. So we started making our own products, and Crooked Cactus was born. So we are a hemp and essential oil infused remedy company, and we have a mission of helping you be and feel better so that you can do more of what makes you happy. We have over 30 SKUs curated into 5 functional formulas and 4 lifestyle collections. So there's something for everybody within our catalog. We have over 4 years experience navigating the legalities, formulating products, and extensively researching and successfully selling CBD products. We have all the things CBD that you're looking for. I'm sure some of you have done some research and know that you want domestic grown plants, grown with organic practices, right? Extracted supercritical CO2 extraction, good manufacturing processes in place, independently tested, and we'll get more into that in just a little bit. But before we go on, let's learn a little bit more about our host, Tim. Tim, you want to tell people a little bit about your story?
Well, I've been in the healthcare field since 2004, when HSAs, or what they're called, health savings accounts, were born in the 2004 timeframe. My wife and I set up, we were one of the pioneers. There was only 5 companies in the whole country that were offering health savings accounts to people. My wife and I built that business up. We also trained many banks and credit unions to offer HSAs, how to set them up. And to this day, we still do consulting to a few banks and credit unions on that fact. Later, to also help people save money, we offered a Costa Rican medical tourism company. So in 2012, my bank that we were using got bought out for their health savings account division got bought out. And my wife and I thought it was time to do something else. In 2013, we moved to Costa Rica. I started researching the cannabis fields, hemp opportunities, and CBD, because at that time, very few people even knew what CBD was. I've gone through a number of companies, been told a number of stories by people, and have been constantly looking for a firm. About 9 months ago, at the Las Vegas Medical Marijuana Association monthly luncheon, Taya sat at my table. We started talking and found out that we both had backgrounds in the financial field. She told me about her company, and I started looking into it and found that she's doing this not only for the love of her child, but also to help other parents and people find out the true benefits of what CBD can do. And so that's how we got together. Like I say, I have talked to numerous companies over the past 5 years, and I am proud to be able to tell you that I think that what they are doing is I'm happy to be involved in.
Thank you, Tim. So you had that foresight with the health savings account. And as we got to know each other, I was so impressed with your ability to really see the bigger vision and kind of see where markets are going. Why don't you share a little bit about where you saw the hemp market was going and your anticipation of the now passed 2018 hemp farm bill or farm bill?
Well, it actually started in 2014 Farm Bill. There was some legislation in there that allowed some test markets for farmers to get back into the hemp market. 100 years ago, or even back in the 1930s, 1920s, hemp was a major crop throughout our country. Wisconsin and Kentucky were some of the biggest providers, growers of hemp, and there's thousands and thousands of products that hemp can be used for. In the 30s, there was some problems, and people voted against allowing hemp. But when World War II came about, they rescinded that legislation and allowed states to go grow for rope and uniforms and this, that, and the other thing. I have a very interesting article from the 30s from Popular Mechanics, and this is the 30s, that says the next billion-dollar industry. And there was no billion-dollar industries in the 30s, but that's how they looked at this. So since that 2014 Farm Bill, this year, last year's 2018 Farm Bill was vastly improved. Senator McConnell, who is a senator, he's not only leader of the Senate currently, but he's from Kentucky. Because the farmers in Kentucky had been drastically hurt income-wise because of the reduction in growing tobacco, they wanted to get back in the hemp business. Senator McConnell issued this bill, kept himself on the committee to get it through, and it was added to the Farm Bill. So the Hemp Act of 2018 said that the country is moving forward to that. So following that, right now, states, almost every state is now developing some type of hemp program. And growing the hemp and squeezing it is where the CBD oil comes from. And I can see that this is moving along. And currently there's some FDA is looking at this. So we're not making projections on what it can do for you, but there are so many people that have tried it and it's been successful for them. I believe that the hemp and CBD markets going forward are going to really help people, but you need to find people that are having theirs tested, and this is one of the things that Taya brings to the table.
Great. Yeah, I was so excited. I knew when we started and formally created Crooked Cactus a little over 2 years ago, with the 2014 Farm Bill, we were operating in a little bit of a gray area. But now, explicitly, with the 2018 Farm Bill signed into law in December, it's ended nearly 100 years of hemp prohibition, and the DEA is no longer the primary enforcement agent, as the extracts, cannabinoids, and derivatives of the hemp plant is explicitly removed from the Controlled Substance Act. And so this has really created an opportunity for all of us to be able to legitimately operate a hemp and CBD business. I was super excited because now, again, the legality is no longer a barrier. When I got into years ago, me and my family and my financial advisor friends, they were all, "Are you crazy? You're going to be a drug dealer?" But this Farm Bill really legitimizes the industry. No DEA or state interference for interstate really means that your e-commerce business, especially, is running without interference. It's a big support for e-commerce business and interstate shipping. The legality increases acceptance and also reduces the stigma. Again, people are actively seeking out CBD products now. This is not something that people are hiding in the cannabis closet, right? They're coming out and they're really looking for natural products to be able to feel better. And you cannot deny what CBD has been doing, as Tim said. Hemp farmers can also access USDA certification now, previously illegal, and that's tapping into a huge market, a $4 trillion industry in natural health and wellness. And this is an amazing way to be a part of it.
U.S. sales are expected to grow an average of 177% annually through 2023. Another firm, the BD Analytics and ArcView Market Research, expect the market to reach $20 billion by 2024. So how can you be involved?
Well, and not only how can you be involved, but how is this even possible, right? Anybody who are following other companies or looking at investments, a year-over-year growth last year, this is phenomenal and unheard of. 2018 sales in CBD products in the US was 620 million. 2019 sales estimated to be $5 billion with a B, billion dollars just this year. That is a whopping 706% year-over-year growth. And with the previous statistics that Tim shared, it's just going to get bigger. So how is this possible? The 2018 Farm Bill blew the door open for legal commerce of hemp, and it's transforming the industry as we know it. Consumers are demanding more and more natural products. They're becoming more conscious about what's in the bottle. They're wanting to be more organic and sustainable, and they're shifting their lifestyle to a more healthy and well-rounded well-being emphasis. And they're increasing self-advocacy. No longer are people just trusting what the doctors say. With the information highway out there, there's people who are taking matters into their own hand and really empowering themselves to be their own best medical advocate. And then general retailers. Tim, you want to take this one?
Well, basically, just in the last couple of months, there has been numerous big box retailers stepping up and saying that they're going to be stocking CBD products. Rite Aid, Kroger, CVS, Walgreens. There's even a number of clothing stores going to be offering CBD products. Later on, we're going to tell you how you can take advantage of their marketing.
Yeah, how about right now? You guys, what we're trying to say with this part of the presentation is there's so much momentum right now going on in the industry. With the hemp farm bill, with consumer demand increasing, with big box retailers coming in, some people, I've actually had people tell me, oh, it's too saturated. You guys, this is not the case at all. This is good news for you that it's moving into the mainstream. It's still in its infancy. And here's the number one way that we think you can leverage that momentum.
Let me just go back 1 second. Just like in the HSA market in 2004, about 6 months into that, my wife asked me, are you sure about this? And I said, I'm just waiting for the rest of the country to catch up. Now there's close to $40 billion in HSA deposits throughout the country. 25 to 30 million people have a health savings account. This is the same thing. Anytime you see the federal government shift policy and move one direction or the other, you want to get involved in that because this is brand new. We think that the consumers are actively seeking out CBD products and they'll be thirsty for education and guidance. I think that when these big firms are now offering CBD products, my question is, who's going to answer those questions on the aisle? I went into a grocery store recently that started keeping these products, and the CBD products were next to the tomatoes. Well, the guy stocking the tomatoes is not going to know anything how CBD works, how to read a label, things like that. I believe the successful entrepreneurs are going to be people like you out there that take the time to learn about CBD, have some knowledge, and can talk with people one-on-one about the questions. You're not going to walk into a grocery store and make a purchase of $50 to $100 for one or two different a salve or an oil or whatever they are selling if you can't get an answer to your question. People are going to be looking for a local CBD authority who can answer those questions for themselves. 56% of adults over 21 are confused about what CBD is now. 66% of them are interested in learning more, and 40% are actively looking for a product now. Many demographics say they don't want to enter a dispensary and will rely on testimonials or referrals. In some states, cannabis is legal, and some states have medical cannabis programs. In those states, the dispensaries are offering CBD products. But is grandma going to go to a dispensary? Some are, but majority of them aren't. They will want to stay away from that. They want the hemp CBD options. So they're going to be looking for someone locally that can help them with questions. The senior market's the fastest growing of any market in the CBD industry.
Yeah, and even I've seen this even with our own customers at Crooked Cactus. Our main target or who we attract are 45 to 65-year-old, typically women, but these are professional women. These are soccer moms. Because of my background, I have a lot of special needs families that come to Crooked Cactus seeking help. And of course, the senior market, and a lot of our market says that they would not step into a dispensary to go and buy products. Although the legitimacy is coming, the stigma is getting reduced, there's still just something about going into a cannabis dispensary that still, it's fearful, or there's, preconceived notions about it. But they would rather be able to talk to somebody that they know, like, and trust, that can give them a referral and say, hey, we know where these products are sourced from. This person is particularly knowledgeable. You will be in good hands if you see this person. And I have known that firsthand, even in my own business. So our number one way to leverage the momentum, become a user of the products. Be a walking billboard for CBD and show people how transformational that it could be, and become a local expert in a niche that you are passionate about. I can't speak more highly of that advice. It's the advice that I was given to me. I've been able to leverage my experiences, my network, and my passions to be able to catapult Crooked Cactus CBD into where it is today. And it's an amazing way for you guys to get started because it's so very simple. So we're going to really launch into the 4 ways to start your CBD business. There's a lot of information that's here. We're already almost 25 minutes in. We want to save some time for questions and answers at the end. We did have some people send in some questions in advance, but if you haven't done that and you want to be able to get your question answered, just use the chat box, and we will have access to those questions, and we will get them all done at the end. So 4 ways to launch a CBD business: become a manufacturer, become an affiliate, become a reseller, or become a brand. And we're going to dive into what each of these means. And at the end, we're going to talk to you about how you can get started with that. And we do have a very special offer for this webinar only that you will not want to miss. So make sure you stay to the very end. Yes?
Yes.
So number 1, become a manufacturer. This is what I did. And again, this was over 2 years ago. And had I to do it all over again in today's market, I don't know that this would have been the way that I have chose. Choices were very limited back then, but this is what we did. We had our own formulas. We worked with naturopaths. We worked with chemists. We worked with formulators. We perfected recipes. If I knew this was going to be my life, I totally would have paid more attention in chemistry class. But that's what it means to become a manufacturer. The benefit is that you control, well, everything. And the consideration is that, well, you control everything, right? So it does have the highest potential for revenue because you're it, like, right? You get to control the pricing, you get to control the distribution channels, you get to control the products that you offer. With that comes a great deal of reward or potential for reward, but that also carries the biggest risks. If you're a manufacturer, there's going to be high startup costs. Again, formulators, supplies, raw material, carrying inventory, making sure that you're choosing all of your packaging properly, doing your production runs, buying equipment if you're going to manufacture it yourself, or it takes a high degree of time and expertise to figure out whether you are going to do it yourself or you're going to have somebody else actually physically make the products for you after you've come up with these recipes. And you're starting from zero, from scratch. And it could take months or years to be able to go through the formulation process and to be able to do testing and then bring a product to the market. And then, of course, you're in charge of all of the branding, the marketing, the logistics. So that is one way that you can become a manufacturer, but because of the great deal of upfront costs, the upfront time, and the amount of risks involved, this is often not something that people would choose when they're first starting out.
Yeah, unless you have a couple $100,000 laying around in a year or two that you want to put up before you actually do probably any sales. Becoming a manufacturer is something that shouldn't be on the top of your list.
All right, so let's move on. Becoming an affiliate. This is like the exact opposite end of the spectrum, right? This is where you become an affiliate, and what that means is that you basically get a personalized URL or link to the brand's website, and you market that around in your networking to your friends and family. You can create e-commerce sites, and basically all the traffic that is driven through your link to that brand's shop, the purchases that are made, you earn a commission. So it's very simple, not always easy, but simple to implement. It's convenient and it's flexible because you're not carrying any inventory. There's very little personal or financial risk. You get maybe average 10 to 30% commission in the health and wellness field. That's what we're seeing in the CBD arena as well. you do have potential for some passive income because you put your link out there and then it's out there in the internet, and people can follow that link and make purchases while you sleep. And the brand handles customer service. So there's very little ongoing service or customer maintenance that you need to do. However, you are entirely dependent on that merchant's brand, on their rules, the restrictions, and their product offering. So it's very limited in that way. It can also be very highly competitive because these merchants or brands may have hundreds, if not thousands, of other affiliates that are also promoting their products. So there is a great deal of work to be done to make your link the most visible. And you also have to continue to drive new leads over and over and over, because typically the customers will purchase through you initially, but once they get acquainted with that brand, they go directly to the brand. And then also the brand is marketing to them now that they're a customer. You get very low percentage of repeat orders. So it's a rinse and repeat, a rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat over and over and over, driving new leads for this particular for the merchant that you're representing. It's difficult to predict income, again, because you don't know who's seeing your link or how people are going to be purchasing. And it can also get a little a bad connotation, because even though it's not an MLM and it's not related to direct sales, it's often confused with that. So there's something to think about there.
Yes. If you have a website and have many followers, this might be ideal for you. But if you are just thinking about starting, you have to build people to come to your website, and that alone can take years to get a following. So you have to have information on internet marketing, things like that. And so the affiliate program will work for some people that already have some type of business on the web, but if you're just starting out, it might not be right for you.
All right. Number 3, become a reseller. Now this is the most popular option for Crooked Cactus, as well as the next one. People being able to buy products at wholesale and then turn around and sell it at retail, typically with 100% markup. There's a diverse range of products when you're reselling wholesale purchases. The development, the testing, the manufacturing, the branding, all of that is done for you. So all of the things that you would have had to go through to become a manufacturer and get your own products is already been done by the supplier. And because of that, there's usually a fast turnaround. At least that's what you should be looking for when you are looking for a brand to carry, is what are their lead times, what's their turnaround time. But typically, if they're offering wholesale, you should be able to have a fast turnaround from order to shelf. So this is a way that you can really start your business in short order. You can leverage a brand story, their marketing, and their recognition. So some of that footwork has already been done for you. There's social proof out there from a brand, and it's not something that you need to go out and create all by yourself. And there are low inventory and low cost options if you choose the correct wholesaler to buy from. Now, considerations is that, if you don't choose the right wholesaler, there are a lot of companies out there that have very high MOQs, or minimum order quantities. That's the minimum amount that you need to order in order to even qualify for that wholesale pricing, which is typically, again, half off of the retail or MSRP. So that might be capital intensive. It still might take you, a good chunk of capital to be able to purchase these products. And then once you have the products, depending on how much you buy, you may have considerations around managing that inventory. You're dependent on the supply chain capacity and turnaround of the supplier, which again is really important to make sure that you get a supplier that has a good contingency plan and has proven track record in being able to sell and produce CBD products. Do your research, because I've said multiple times it's typically 100% markup, but I have seen some people say that they're offering wholesale prices, and it's really just a good sale, like 20%. So make sure you're doing your research and really understanding your margins. Um, it could be highly competitive because, again, like affiliate, you're not the only one buying wholesale. So that is one consideration. And you are subject to the supplier's wholesale agreement, which might include requirements for what you can price the products at. For example, Crooked Cactus's wholesale agreement, you cannot publicly advertise, so not on anything that is viewable in like your social media or on your website. Anything that's public, you can't advertise our products for less than 10% MSRP. Now, in your newsletter, in your physical store, something that is only to your warm market, you can price it at whatever you want, but publicly we do have that, what's called an MAP, minimum advertised price.
Last week in Las Vegas here, I went to a trade show that probably had 30 different CBD providers on there. What they were doing was looking for people like myself and others who would like to become a reseller and sell their products. We're going to get into this later, but I will tell you that I know how many of these firms work. Some of these firms started out at you had to buy one case per SKU, meaning one product. So if you wanted to have one oil, one strength oil, you had to buy one case of that. Typically, you might want to carry 2 or 3 types of oil. So that's 3 cases. If they have a salve, sometimes they have them with 5 different flavors, for an example. So that would be 5 cases. That your garage would be full of cases of product. And
right, and these cases sometimes are like 300 units at a time. So this isn't just like a 12-pack.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So these are things that you need to look at. You'll find out later that Taya's program has probably some of the lowest startups in the industry. We want to get this product out, and we feel that it's more important for you to be able to start small and build than it is to make the firm rich with a huge order, but then for some reason you can't turn that order. So the reseller concept will work for everyone, and it's probably the best way to get started.
And I'll also say that we have seen a lot of success going back to the number one way that you can differentiate yourself is through education. I have a lot of people who, have friends and family that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And the subject of CBD is coming up and it is in front of people's minds. I have a lot of people that are buying into wholesale. And then although we're not set up as a direct sales company or party company, they are taking this and doing small gatherings, doing little workshops, doing gatherings with their friends, doing home parties, and sharing the products with their friends and family, and really growing a decent sized business that way. And when you do that, Tim, can you tell them maybe a strategy on how they can use other people's money to get future orders?
Well, sure. Once you get some products and you've started trying them and working with them, I've always thought, and I've said this for years, and I mean years, and anyone who knows me talk about the CBD industry, that the number one way I think is going to be most successful is the home parties, the Avon or the Tupperware type of sales program. Because these people will either invite you over to their house and they will invite their friends, or you can have a gathering at your house or a local library or something. But they want education, and we will help you with some websites. You can Google CBD knowledge and go on for days, but we have a couple of sites that we think is all you really need. They have some of the best CBD education out there. And so when you have one of these parties, you can start out with just collecting 50% off, and then putting in your order and then collecting the other 50% when the order comes. But that way, you really don't come up with any thousands of dollars of upfront money to get your business off the ground. Your customers will be so happy. I've always suggested that when you start a home party, for an example, you pass out some cream or some salve. If people have arthritis and you put this on their hands, within 20 to 30 minutes, people go, oh my God. And they start looking at their hands going, what is this stuff? It actually works. So without making any medical claims that it reduces pain or things like that, because that's how people are getting in trouble with the FDA, is making medical claims. We know how this works. And so if you start a party out like that and start answering questions, people are going to immediately have an interest in the product.
Yeah, and so at these parties, there are people who, take their initial bundle that they get from us, start sharing it with people and taking orders, collecting all or part of that, and then they use that money to be able to come back and buy their next order.
Yes.
And so it can be a very low cost way to get some inventory in and start using the products. Now, number 4 is start your own brand. And this is very similar to wholesale, except when you buy products, it comes with no label. So you are absolutely free to be able to create your own branding, create your own labels, have your own logo, and be able to have a full line of products to offer that has your style and your branding on it. So with that, you have less risk, less cost, and less time involved in the manufacturing process. And you have all the benefits of being a product reseller, but also the benefits of being a manufacturer in the sense that you have your own products. These are great margins, and you control the retail pricing with no MAP or MAP, minimum advertised price. So while with Crooked Cactus products, you can't publicly advertise for less than 10% MSRP, you can white label products, take our sap and go out and sell it for whatever you want with your own label on it. We've had people do both selling it for more than our MSRP, and we've had people that say, hey, I want to have a more mainstream or more value-oriented company, and I want to operate more on quantity, and so they've reduced prices. And that's perfectly fine because you have the control over pricing, you have the control over distribution, and you have your own brand. So you're also building an asset, and that asset can be sold over time based on the performance of your brand. And it's a great way to add additional products to an already existing line. So if you do have, if you're somebody who's listening in and you do already have a CBD business, maybe you're missing something edible like a gummy, or maybe you're missing bath bombs, or maybe you're missing a relief cream. These are good ways for you to be able to not do additional manufacturing, excuse me, in your own product, but be able to white label and bring new products into your line. A lot of the same considerations as wholesaling, but additional consideration is that you are building a brand. So the time and the upfront costs involved in doing that branding work, developing the logo, and doing your labels is something that's not there with wholesaling. It does require some moderate level of expertise and time as you're getting, those digital products and the labels together. You do need to build a customer base and brand recognition, which is really technically true in all of these, right? If you have a business and you're an entrepreneur, marketing and building customers and selling to them is something that's a consideration for all of these 4 ways. But you do appear as the maker. So you handle all of the marketing materials and customer service, and you're dependent on the supplier's capacity and lead times, which is true for all of these situations as well. But really the biggest benefit is that you get those wholesale pricing, but you get all the benefits of really being a maker so that you could build an asset and have that brand.
This is ideal for people that you might have a spa or a beauty parlor, or you're a massage therapist, or maybe a doctor's office. So you turn around and put your already locally knowledge brand label on this.
That's true.
On this, the Crooked Cactus CBD products. Of course, we will help you with the label of what legally needs to be on there. You can have those printed up locally and put those on there. But this is for if you are already out there, you already have an established clientele, and you want to show them that you are keeping up with what's going on. White labeling your brand is the number one way to go forward and expand your local business.
Some great examples of that is we have a dog, and it doesn't have to be like a huge business. We have somebody who's a dog walker, and our pet products are our number one seller. We sell more of our dog biscuits than we sell of any other SKU in our product catalog. But she's a dog walker. And, now she's offering her very own line of CBD pet products with the oil that we have, the dog biscuits, and then we have a pad protector, which is important when you're walking in those extreme heat or cold. So she charges like an upcharge. It's an additional service for her to go and pick up the dogs. And sometimes she's taking them to the groomer, which can be a terrifying experience for some dogs and pets. Or she's out there walking and wants to make sure that the dogs are protected from the asphalt or the terrain. And so that's an amazing way to be able to do that. We have a massage therapist that uses our products at private labels. We have a chiropractors, we have spas, estheticians. We have a health food store that wants to have their own brand, so that it's really limitless.
CBD works with your body and works in what is called the endocannabinoid system. Well, your dog has an endocannabinoid system also. And so this product does work with dogs to have them calm and relaxed. I have a client who started buying it for her dog, and she has already twice reordered with additional packages for friends' dogs, because her friends have come over and said, look how calm Romeo is. And Romeo used to be wild, running around all over the place. But Romeo's been taking the CBD dog biscuits, and now these friends that have dogs are saying, wait a minute, I want my dog to relax. So when Taya says it's one of the top sellers of her SKUs, it is, and it's because it works.
Absolutely. So those are the 4 ways that you can launch your CBD business. And of course, we have ways that we're going to be able to help you with that. So you've already decided that you want a CBD business. You've already you now know the 4 different ways that you can do it. Now you need to find a company to be able to, whose products that you can market. So when we first started Crooked Cactus CBD, I authored an ebook called The 10 C's of CBD. And it's really everything that I wish I had known when I had started looking for it, and had to do all of this legwork and research on my own. It's called The 10 C's of CBD. And even as a supplier, or if you're shopping as an entrepreneur, the same 10 considerations would be what you would want to look for when you are shopping for products that you can feel good about using and marketing. Now, all of you should have got a link to the 10 C's ebook. And so I'm not going to spend that much time going into each one individually. But the 10 C's are consumption. You want to make sure that you are choosing the right products, the right way to administer the CBD, whether it's a topical, whether it's an oil, whether it's a gummy, a capsule, etc. Concentration, that refers to how many milligrams are in the bottle or milligrams per mil per serving. Chemistry, that goes into whether you're using full spectrum, isolate, broad spectrum. You want to make sure that the contents are clear. What else are you getting in your bottle? This is very important, ties into number 6, which is certificates of analysis. When we first started looking for oil, and mind you, he was then 6 years old, there was some nasty stuff we were finding in the oil that was out there. So make sure that the contents are clear. You really only need 2, maybe 3 ingredients on the bottle. You need the extract and you need a carrier oil. Sometimes people will put a flavoring in there. We don't. We're purists. We think that you can do that on your own with some very natural essential oils or other ways if you need something to make it more palatable. But the contents of your bottle is extremely important. How it's being cultivated, of course, COAs. We're going to get into that in just a little bit more in a moment. But it's extremely important for you to not only test the raw materials, the extract or the isolate, but it is imperative that you see testing for the finished product. There are multiple brands out there. I'd say most of the brands out there are either only testing the raw materials, and then you have no way of knowing what happened during the manufacturing process and what they say is actually in the bottle, or you have people testing the final results for potency, but you don't see, what came before the bottle. How was it grown? Is there pesticides? Is there solvents? So we feel it's very important to do both raw material testing as well as post-formulation or finished product testing. The cost, of course, is something you should be taking into consideration. Clear, compliant labeling, the communication that you have with the company, and are they making any unsubstantiated medical claims, which is a huge red flag. Anything you want to add on there?
I would just like to talk about, for an example, how people sell CBD. On the label, it might say 30 ml. Well, I mean, how many people know the metric system? So normally 30 milliliters is 1 ounce. And then the amount of CBD that's in the bottle, it might say 250, 300, 500, 1500. Some firms are saying, well, we have a 2 ounce bottle of 500. Well, you would think that would be the same as a 1 ounce bottle of 500, but it's not. It's actually half as much. If you were to get a 2 ounce bottle and you wanted as much as a 500 1 ounce bottle, that bottle should have 1,000 milligrams of CBD. So people are confused and people are getting blasted. I know I am every day, emails from firms. We have a special today, buy this CBD, things like that. Getting the 10 essential C's of CBD is very important. And one of the first things to understand before going out and purchasing, you need to know how they try to trick you to buy a lesser product and get more money out of you. And then as for the testing, we cannot pound the table enough, is that the way things are tested. If you're going to put an oil in there with the CBD, Taya tests both. Some firms only test the CBD. Some firms don't test anything. Some firms test the whole final product. So you need to know it's these little things that make the differentials between quality products and products that are just not doing anything for you.
Absolutely. So, right, you want a business. Now know the 4 ways that you can start a business. Hopefully you're considering either wholesaling or becoming a reseller or having your own brand. We feel that's the most effective way to be able to start your business with the lowest cost, lowest risk, and easiest way to implement. Now you know the 10 C's. What are you looking for? And of course, I'm here to tell you it should be Crooked Cactus. Should be no surprise there, right? Again, we have a variety of products, over 30 SKUs curated into functional formulas and lifestyle formulas. We have our collections are based on the function: relief, relax, recover, restore, and repair. And then we also have yoga and chakra, stuff for tattoos, stuff for beards. We have stuff for pets. So those are more of our lifestyle collections. We're getting ready to launch an edible, like a fruit chew gummy. So that is going to be coming here very shortly. Our quality of products, I put there hashtag all the things, right? Everything that you will do research on what you should be looking for in a company, and all of the 10 C's, obviously we have it here at Crooked Cactus, right? Domestic, processed, and grown in Colorado in our extraction and cultivation facility out there. They send the extracts and raw materials here to Las Vegas. Then we formulate it into products, bottle it, and distribute it from our facilities here locally. Family owned, women operated, and we again independently test. And we go so far, you guys will also get a link to our test results, but we go so far as to say if it's organic, the organic certificate is in the test file. If we say that it's fair trade certified, our fair trade certified certificate is inside the file. We use essential oils. We believe in the full range of botanicals. All of the chromatography for the essential oils that are used are in the testing files. And then again, we test both the raw materials, the extract or the isolates, and then also the finished product. And we voluntarily follow the Nevada rules and regulations for marijuana testing. So the exact same testing packages that the dispensaries have to go through with marijuana products, we voluntarily go through this very same amount of rigorous testing through a Nevada approved lab here locally. The compliance and capacity, we are here to stay. We are not employing gimmicks. We're not making unsubstantiated medical claims. We're not taking shortcuts, and we are here to help you as well. Coming up, when you see what we have for you, we will help you all along the ways to make sure that you are operating a legal and compliant business. I myself am even having with the new emphasis from the FDA, and I don't know if some of you have seen recently a big firm yesterday, the day before, got a warning letter, and along with that warning letter came what looked like a public announcement from the FDA putting all the CBD companies on watch. They are taking very seriously the claims that are being made and the practices that are out there being used to sell CBD products. And so right now, I even have a new team of consultants going through our website, going through our marketing materials, just making sure that all our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. And I share that information with our wholesale and private and white label clients. So we pass all of that on to you. And that goes along with our support and training. We're not only your supplier, but we are your partner. I believe in collaboration. I believe in partnership. And I believe that when we come together, we will mutually be able to succeed. And really what my passion is to help more people. You and I partnering together, you and I and Tim partnering together, all of us partnering together, gets more hands-on products, more distribution channels, and getting help for the many people that are out there that, want to start doing things that make them more happy and doing more of what they love. And CBD can help with that. So with that, how do you get started? If you do like the idea of being an affiliate, we have the Crooked Cactus affiliate program. You do earn between 10 and 30% commission. Our pixel or our tracking goes for 45 days. So you send out, and typically it's 30, so we've extended that a little bit for you. You send out your link, and for 45 days, anyone who goes through that link tracks back to you for you to be able to earn that commission. We have a healthy average sale. The average sale on our website is $87. So that's more of a high ticket item, which will help you with your revenue. And then we love on our affiliates. We give you a personal discount code so that you can get product in your own hands and be a walking billboard and have personal testimonial for the products. We have promo codes for you to offer to your followers. well, you have bonuses and you have the capability of earning free products. So if that is an option, stay tuned. Of course, we offer wholesale, right? Crooked Cactus wholesale, between 40 and 60% margins. Depending on your volume, it could even be higher, but those have higher minimum order quantities. But if you're staying within our typical wholesale program, we do have, as Tim said, some of the lowest MOQs that are out there for you to get started. We have a quick turnaround. We have excess capacity because of the way that we have been able to scale and put our processes together. We also have a contract with a co-manufacturer out in Denver as well, so that if we were in the event that, you know, all of you signed up out there and ordered tens and tens and tens of thousands of product, we have service agreements with a co-manufacturer that we can still be able to turn around product in a very quick way so that you can be able to start selling. We provide you with support and training, and we also have marketing materials that you can use. And of course, we do white labeling, which is all the benefits and features of our wholesale product, but shipped with no label. And then we can also help you with specs for those labels. We have referral sources to help you get your labels compliant. We have people that can help you with the branding, building out a website, all the things. All of my resources are available to you as a white label or wholesale client. And limited, we do custom packaging and private labeling, which means we do all of that for you. But if you're interested in that, you know, you and I can have a conversation. So those are the three ways. If you do want to be an affiliate, here is our affiliate link, but stay tuned. Don't just hop over there quite yet. I have something that I want to be able to give to you to get started. And again, you will be getting copies of the slides and you will be getting the recording. So if you don't catch this right now, that's fine. You're going to be getting it, but that is the link. You go, you sign up. There's a couple of emails that you'll get asking you some questions, and then you get your link and you can start promoting the Crooked Cactus products through your followers immediately. Now, Crooked Cactus CBD wholesale or white label. Typically, we have a $500 minimum order. Again, as Tim said, that's relatively low in the industry. We also allow you to mix that across any SKUs. So any of our products, as long as the order is $500, is fine with us. Again, other companies make you do master cases. These master cases are between 100 and 300 bottles, and you have to order a case per SKU, and that really adds up thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. With us, typically, you do have a requirement of a $2,500 annual spend. So 5 orders of 500, or any combination, as long as you your orders are a minimum of 500 and your annual spend is 2,500. And typically, the wholesaler or you pays the shipping and insurance. That is the link to our full product catalog, which has all of our pricing in it, all of our SKUs, and more information about our values and about our what you can expect working with us. But wait. There's more. On this webinar only, okay? Only for you guys. You can get our bestseller sampler bundle with free shipping, okay? You're not going to pay shipping. You're not going to pay the insurance. I will take that on myself. I'm even going to throw in a bonus of 5 100 milligram bath bombs at retail for $100. We sell them for $20 each. The bath bombs are not typically in our bestseller bundle, although they are one of our best sellers. They usually are only custom orders, but I'm going to throw that in for you guys. So you can get our bestseller bundle, which is a cost of $520. You get the extra bath bombs, taking that up to an additional $620 value. But when you consider retail, this is over $1,000, $1,075 worth of products. And if you want to get this offer and you do it in the next 48 hours, you do not need to even be on a contract. You do not need to sign the wholesale agreement. We are opening this up. As Tim said, we want to get these products in your hands. We want you to be able to feel them, touch them, use them, and really see the difference in our products. And then you can make a decision on whether or not you want to go ahead and get started with us in an official wholesale agreement. And even if you do, I will waive the $2,500 annual spend for those that buy this bundle in the next 24 hours. If you decide you want to be a wholesaler for your first year, there will be no annual spend requirement. Okay?
Great.
Good deal?
Sounds good.
All right. So if you want this deal, email orders@crookedcactusoils.com with the subject webinar bundle. Okay. And we will invoice you for that and we will get that out right away. Now, for those of you who want a little more help in launching your business, we have another offer for you as well. I come from the life coaching and financial and money coaching background. Coaching has been a passion of mine and something that I love doing. And I put together a package that would include some coaching to help you fast track your business and really get you started on the right foot. So for the next 48 hours by, let's say, Friday end of day, for both of these offers, if you go ahead and want the coaching program, we're going to waive the $2,500 minimum spend. You're going to get all of the wholesale benefits. You're going to get a 1.5-hour strategy session one-on-one with me. I charge $397 for those strategy sessions for my CBD coaching clients right now. You get 3 months of WhatsApp access. For those that don't know, that is basically like a texting and messaging service. That is how my clients get access to me, and I can check that throughout the day and immediately get back to you. So you almost have 24/7 access to me for 3 months for ongoing support. You get 1 monthly coaching call for the next 3 months. That's a $450 value. You get access to all my knowledge. You get to pick my brain, my contacts, my vendors, my designers, my branding experts, etc. That's priceless. And then I'm planning on, Tim and I are going to team up and we're going to do some additional training webinars so that you can really launch your business right. Now, if you want all of this, you get both the bestseller bundle. So you get all of those products to be able to start off your business. And then you also get this Fast Start coaching program, all for $997. So if you want that, then email orders@crookedcactusoils.com and in the subject put webinar coaching. All right. So we are, oh no, we're 7 minutes over. We are going to, okay, we do have a few questions here, but let me just say, if you need to hop off, we understand. If you still have questions, my email address is right there, hello@crookedcactusoils.com. My phone number is there, and take a look at our website, crookedcactuscbd.com/shop. And we will be following up after the webinar with all of the resources that we told you about. And if you're going to stick around, we have time, Tim and I have time for some few questions.
I just want to come back to a couple of things Taya said. One was the testing in Nevada for marijuana or cannabis products. Many people don't know that in Nevada, they have the strictest testing of cannabis products before they hit the dispensary. In California, by the way, they have no testing whatsoever, so you don't know what you're buying there. That being said, so when she says that they use that type of testing, you know it's the strictest in the country. The second thing is I mentioned that I was at this seminar last week with 30 CBD providers trying to sell their products. I will say that 2 years ago, I was at the same seminar, there was roughly 5. As I said, many people are getting spammed, emailed, buy this product, you receive a free bottle. Once you give them your credit card information, just try to cancel. So if you want to get into this business, if you're interested in this business, you need to go to someone who's done it from the start and Ty is the person to do that. Crooked Cactus has developed everything from scratch, working with some of the top vendors in the country, and you know that you're getting a product that you can be proud of. There has also been some different news outlets throughout the country testing samples and finding out that some of these products that they're saying have CBD in them don't even have CBD in them. So you want to go to a provider that you can trust, and Taya is that provider.
Thank you. All right, so we did have some people send in questions in advance.
One of the questions was about education. Where can I find good education? We're going to be sending out a couple websites that we think has got some of the best CBD education out there. Those sites are worth spending some time on, but they can answer all your questions on CBD. Another question is, do we ship to Australia?
So right now we are not shipping internationally. This is only for the US market at this time.
Okay. Here's another question from Sue in Wisconsin. She wants to know if she can get started with just inviting friends and family. And that's how we suggest that that's the best way to get started. As these people find out their products, try your products and find out that they're working for them, they're going to do the marketing for you. They're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their relatives, and your business is going to grow just by that type of way to get going.
Any others?
I think that there's a couple others, but I think we touched them all in the seminar so far.
Okay,
But
great.
because we're running over, we're going to have to cut this off. But if you do have questions, just email them, and we'll take care of contacting you and getting you the answers.
All right, great. Thank you everyone for your time today. It was a pleasure and honor to be able to share Crooked Cactus with you. I hope that you will be in contact, and I would love to help you be on your CBD business journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.